Welcome to Mort's Magical Wares, where the experience points are fake, but today we've got staffs of little power ready to be tested.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for joining us today, guys. We have a missing guest today. He's actually had some last minute things to take care of, but we've got everybody else. We have a remote guy. Last time we saw us, we did a one shot because we had some people not available with us. But I think today we're going to kick off with the main story with the Yellow Silk stuff. In terms of announcements, always remember hanging out in chat. You've got hold on. I think we've got a sound going on here. Let me turn this off. There we go. I don't know what it was, but anyway, so hanging out in chat, you earn gold or whatever, and we have a store that you can kind of go and buy things. Like right now, we only have inspiration, and it has influence. I think it gives everybody a D8, whoever you get, or not everybody. It gives the person you buy it for a D8 to use as attack roll, advantage, or whatever like that. And so following gives you enough gold to be able to have that influence over the game. Eventually, I want to have monsters of various ratings based on how much gold you earn that you spend. What's that say? Get close?
Recording stuff.
Okay, that's fine. And so, but yeah, other than that, I think we can probably just kick off. We have Rodin the Green with us, our druid. Gert the Ghost, our ranger. Tembo the Thrice Scarred, who is here in spirit, and but will be played by Mort, the DM. And then Kira the Unseen, our, what? I guess a rogue? Is that what you are now?
I am.
And Arn, just Arn, sorcerer.
Just Arn.
So, last time we were here, we had kicked off in our adventurers had basically thought they had saved Teeg from what seemed to have been like a kidnapping, but or a failed scouting attempt. And Teeg and Merrick basically had seen some suspicious activity out in the forest, and Teeg managed to get himself captured, and Merrick was the one who came back to basically inform the town of Blacktail that something had happened, that there was these people doing suspicious things out in the forest. And so our adventurers basically went out on a trip to go find him. And so with a quick in and out, ignoring everything else, in and out, taking Teeg, saving him, dispatching of a man who seemed to have been trying to, who was probably trying to sacrifice him, that's what it appeared to be, with some evil magic. And he did manage to stab him, but you guys were able to maintain his health, save him from dying. As you guys made it back, you guys realized that there was some weird things going on in terms of nightmares occurring in the town of Blacktail, and we basically established that something was definitely going wrong with Teeg. And when you guys investigated it, Teeg had disappeared. And the assumption was that we needed to go back to the pyramid where he was found, and we basically went back there, discovered that the pyramid has been gone or buried, and you guys followed a trail back all the way to a town called Imystrahl, which is where we begin. Well, I think we're gonna, as I was also gonna say, we usually want to start with the little backstories here and there. So I think we're gonna start with an interesting scene with Kira the Unseen. Maybe he is an actual Seven Knives Guild member. We'll see.
Seven Knives Assassin.
So,
oh, you'll see.
Crenshaw had discovered that there was a convoy of slave traders that were moving through the town, or through the jungle not too far north of Blacktail. They were moving their way east to go to Marg to basically dispatch or to drop off the slaves that they had captured from a town off to the west. Having word of that, and this is probably further into Kira's roguehood, I would say. He's a little bit more seasoned at this point in his life, and knows his way around. What did Crenshaw kind of come up with to tell you?
Crenshaw has asked me to basically hunt down some of these slave trader caravans and work to liberate the slaves, much in the same way me and all of my brothers were liberated. So we are to find these caravans and really just find out who the main slave traders are and just basically take them out and liberate those slaves.
Okay. And so, having your background, how did you pursue that?
So, much to everybody's doubt, Kira is a member of this Seven Knives Assassins through basically some mischief that had occurred during our upbringing. Kind of, I guess you could say, indirectly befriended one of the guild members.
Yeah, as that happened, you remember his name is Akiro. He is a male elf. He poses to be a traveler, but also is kind of one of the main couriers for the Seven Knives Assassins, and has helped move information. And as you said, in the past, there had been an encounter with Akiro, and he basically it kind of showed you the ropes.
Yeah.
At least taught you, gave you some contacts, people you could reach out to, and understand that there are contacts. You're not alone out in this far away from Kodeth, which is where the main operations of the Seven Knives Assassins is at.
So being a low man on the totem pole in the Seven Knives Assassins, I basically, anytime they call upon me, I must answer. But they don't call upon me very often, mainly because we're just so remote, essentially. So in this case, I wanted to leverage some of those contacts when going after these slave trader caravans for Crenshaw. And so I kind of called out, sent out my little...
What does the signal look like?
Yeah, right. Carrier pigeon? Yeah.
Do you have a carrier pigeon in your inventory here?
I don't.
Your pencil.
Oh, you need a pencil.
That's fine. Alright, so... okay, we could say that there is a...
I guess I would envision like a courier, like trying to, I don't know that we would necessarily be like sending on a mail.
Yeah, right. No, I think,
so
honestly, I think a courier pigeon... And in this world, like, courier pigeon is like a totally legitimate
So that could
thing.
Be a legit thing, courier pigeon.
And so we think that you send a message off to the nearest contact, which you know is to be in the town of Imystrahl. The main contact there is Tavriel, a female elf who is has been working kind of in disguise there as a merchant. But Gabrielle, you send her a message, and she responds back and reciprocates the okay, we can plan and we can meet outside of the city. And so doing so, fast forwarding, you go out to the forest where the intel that you guys had received of this convoy moving, based from the scouts that went off to the west. You meet late at night, Gabrielle, and it's yourself. And she says, it's just us, I'm afraid. There's not too many people left not too many people. There's some interesting things going on at the moment in Imystrahl. I don't think there's much people to come out.
I was hoping for more.
Unfortunately, no. She suddenly turned out Russian. So, as you guys are going off over into the presumed location, you guys move north, and it's, like I said, it's late at night, and you see off in the distance a campfire, and out there you see basically a dozen men and women chained up and sitting down on a log, that's been moved, like fallen over and rotted. And around the campfire, you see at least two men who are basically cooking up some beans and pork, and pork and beans, and they often to the side you see a camp or a tent with what looks to be a person inside there as well, who seems to be at a desk. It's a very large tent, writing down something on a wooden desk. And there are several horses, but you can tell based on the number of horses that the slaves are obviously not riding them. It's only just the people.
How do the slaves look in terms of their physical energy level?
I would say that they've been probably traveling for a long time with minimal resources and have probably wouldn't be able to run fast.
Are any of them looking able-bodied? But strong men?
I would say there's probably one who's in the middle, who's been kind of holding up the chains for everybody, who's been probably the youngest and the strongest of the group.
And where are the slaves relative to the tents and men, and versus where we are? Would we have first access to the slaves, or we have to kind of sneak our way around?
You probably have to sneak your way around. They're all pretty close together, as they're in the middle of the jungle, which is in this jungle, as Garrett would tell you, is extremely dangerous. This is probably the same area where you would find giant sloths and other giant creatures.
So I say to Tabriel, keep watch. I'm going to sneak and try to free the slaves. And then we can use that as a distraction to take out those two men.
She says, what about the one in the tent?
We'll deal with him once he comes out of the tent.
Says, no problem. And she pulls out a bow and she readies it as she's got her sights right on the two men. So what do you end up doing?
So I do want to try to use kind of like my ability to hide very well in forest and jungle areas, to just sort of sneak and hide as I want to kind of get to the other side where the slaves are.
Okay. Yeah, give me a stealth check.
This level 1, right?
Yes, level 1.
It's actually still pretty good. Oh shit. It's a 9.
Okay, hey, you know what? All right, so
I know it's not horrible, but it's a bad roll.
So you move around the edge, and you start to approach the slaves, in which you seem to be in a well-hidden position.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't see any reaction from the two guys tinkering with
give me perception.
All right. Much better. That would be 13.
Yeah. You start to look carefully to see if you can find any reaction out of them, and they know you're there.
I know that they know that I'm there.
Yeah.
Are they looking at me?
No, their demeanor has changed slightly as they're like sitting around the campfire.
Damn.
Not to cure the unheard.
Yeah, no,
Cure the
cure
herd.
the scene. No, that's not gonna work.
Time is ticking.
Yeah, I'm. Damn, if they see me, then I might as well just go for it. I'm gonna ready my short bow.
Okay, so you pull out your short bow.
My short
you get ready to
bow
go.
and keep like a low defensive
You
position.
look just beyond the men, and you see Tabriel. She knows that she sees the same thing you do. She knows that you've basically been heard at this point. But she kind of nods to you, like, okay, like we should just do this.
Yes. One.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Roll to attack.
Sweet. Was that 23?
Yeah. So she
When you needed to roll.
kind of nods to the right, and you kind of nod to the left, and both arrows hold true straight to the head, as both men around the campfire barely had enough time to just like barely look to see a sound coming, and then immediately fall over to the side.
Nice.
And the slaves then get startled at that point.
Yeah.
They're just like, what? They're like, "Who's there? Who free? What's going on?" And the man in the tent immediately looks up and calls out, "Who is it that's there?" And he gets out and opens the tent, and it's this hulking man, looking bigger than ever. He's completely like scarred on one whole side, and it looks like that he is kind of been through a lot in his life in terms of like his whole right side seems to be kind of like burned and scarred and stuff. And so he comes out and looks around, doesn't quite take immediate notice of you guys, but he does see that the slaves have been kind of like riled up, and so he says, and he then takes note of the two dead compatriots, and he immediately readies his sword and starts looking out in the darkness. And he says, "Who's there?"
So I still have pretty good cover. I'm kind of hidden.
I would say you do, yeah.
Okay. I kind of look at Tavriel. I'm like,
yeah. All right. So she gets ready to go, and she readies another bow or arrow, and roll to attack.
20, 21,
20?
23.
Oh dang, dude.
Same,
All right, yeah.
I got the same exact roll.
Yeah, so both arrows roll true, and they stab into his side as he immediately feels it into his chest, and he starts looking around as he kind of takes note of where they came from, and immediately just books it. Runs into the jungle.
I had a feeling that would happen, but that's better than having to have that guy swing.
Yeah, and so he immediately books it, and with the sword out and everything, and he starts to take off.
Sweet. All right. Well, I obviously come out of cover and kind of, still scanning in his direction to make sure, he's not coming right back
now,
at
give me
us.
one perception check.
Yep. That's 20.
Okay.
No, that's 21.
Okay, yeah. You do, as you come out, you start to look around and make sure that you're ready to, like, you're still in good shape, and you see that he ran off, but you see his face for a second as he then makes contact with you, and then takes off.
I'm gonna let him go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I call Tavriel out. It's like,
so
let's let him go. We got the slaves.
You you free the slaves. Tavriel basically acknowledges and says that this was good shooting, but
I'm gonna keep her in mind.
Yeah. As you enter the town of Imystrahl, the last time we were here, we saw a desolate land. It seems like the rumor of the elves, their building style, their way that they, the way that they hold themselves, that it's very elegant, beautiful, and serene. And the land that you see before you, the city you see before you, is the exact opposite. You see tall buildings that were supposed to be spirals of alabaster and gold and pearl and beautiful stones, but it seems like everything, especially like where a person's height would be at, is just demolished and ripped and chipped of all of any valuable items that were on those buildings. And so before you is just like a stone, soot-covered buildings. That there's just really very little alabaster and anything left on there. So on the ground you see beneath you just dirt and soot, layers and layers piled around you. And the Bonedust Gate, which is the way you came and entered in after having bribed the guard, the gate shuts. And as it does, you hear off in the distance someone cry out, "Mine!" And if you remember, last time the guard said the only way to make sure that you're going to be okay is to not make noise. And looking around, you don't see anybody out in the streets. You see alleys, dark alleys that go off into who knows what. As we were approaching the evening when we got here, but there's not really much left of the town to see. And it seems to be a fairly large town of tens of thousands of people that would live here, but no one's out.
Why are there guards?
To
What
let
are
us
they
in, I
guarding?
guess.
Are there anybody walking around?
No, you don't see anybody out.
We heard that sound though. And
You heard the sound, you heard someone cry out off in the distance, "Mine!" And you hear, now that you're kind of like listening for it, there's like what seems to be like a struggle. Like people moving around, scuffing on the ground.
Which direction is that?
Towards the north, like straight ahead.
But we can't see anything. that
No,
far?
it's like the buildings are tall enough that there's enough shade from the sun off in the distance where it's setting. So it's getting a little dark out.
Then we have no evidence of the trail any longer.
Yeah,
Because
give me
it's
a investigation check.
That would be 10.
Okay.
It is what I rolled.
Exactly.
There's that number there.
So the soot is thick enough that there's like it's hard to distinguish which direction it goes off, but you know that there's like a lot of movement that just continues north. But there are paths that go east and west as well.
Do we at this point? We need to light a torch, I'm sure, to be able to see what's going on.
Yeah, because none of you guys have dark vision. I don't
I'll
believe.
spark one up, and hand it to somebody much taller than me.
Tembo is our designated torch carrier for this campaign of fifth session. I'm just gonna.
Oh, yes.
Light your own torch.
Yes, Tembo
Holds
holds
the
up his own
torch.
torch.
Drunk comes
I don't think I could do his voice. Follow the sound. All right.
something kind of.
Tembo's here in spirit and in Twitch chat. And so so you guys go towards the noise.
Yeah.
You walk forward for a little while. As you continue to walk, you just hear the crunching of the soot beneath your feet. It feels almost snow-like. And the few times that like Garrett's been up towards the mountains in the past, like Garrett's probably seen snow many times. I don't know if the rest of the party's ever really ventured out to the mountains, but it feels like you're just stepping on just
Am I
dirt
sort of
and
like
dirt.
waist deep in this soot?
No, it probably goes up to your ankles. It's like ankle deep for you. Everyone else is stepping on just fine. And as you move, you're like kicking it all over the place, and it's just flying all
I'm
over.
black, basically. It's like covered in this stuff at this point.
And so, you move further down in the city, and you start to hear the sound. As you kind of look down in the alley of where it's kind of coming down from, you see that there is actually an elf woman who's carrying a cudgel, and she,
Club.
club, basically I call them cudgels because that's what they say in
What
books.
sort of gnarled?
Yeah, it's like a very gnarled looking wooden stick that's like really thick, and she's holding it in defense of these three other elves who kind of look feral yet almost like hungry and deprived. And but yet, like, I mean, as elves, like, they normally have very good complexion and very, these guys just look like they've been through some rough times. And they're basically kind of standing there off on the sides as one of them calls out and he says, "Give us the goods, if you know what's good for you." And they all pull out these long swords, beautiful swords, and like almost anime-like start rushing forward after the woman. As she pulls out her cudgel and immediately tries to defend.
Is she backed into a corner?
She's got basically you guys behind you at this point.
She's like they're coming towards us.
They're coming towards you guys,
I see.
but basically attacking her. And right beside her is what looks to be kind of like a portable cart, or a cart with wheels, basically, that has like all sorts of like wares on it, like just foodstuffs and small items that you would find in any favorite D&D 5e book.
They're elves and she is not, or are they all?
No, they're all elves.
They're
Yeah,
all elves. Okay.
Does she look like she has a good stance? Like she knows what she's doing with the cudgel?
I would say, yeah, she does. She's holding herself pretty well. She doesn't look feral or deprived like the others, but she's like, she's holding. She looks like she'll be able to hold herself.
Are they the only people we've seen thus far?
How wide is the
About 10 feet wide.
I'm not
I'll
one
kind
to
of look at
liberate-
everyone else.
Yeah. All right. So they Tembo. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to speak for Tembo. So Tembo does Tembo.
Tembo holds the
He holds the torch.
Gets the popcorn.
So the three guys start coming after her, and immediately all three start trying to attack her, and she's actually using the cudgel to start blocking and moving. She moves side to side very gracefully, and it seems like almost that she's been through this a number of times. And you got some?
Yeah. I say enredate and cast entangle on the alleyway
Yeah.
in front of her. So basically it's 20 feet. So all
Yeah.
three of them.
So
are
all
gonna
three of
be-
them would be covered. So they immediately, yeah, they all fail. The 10, 8, and 5. Okay, so they would drop the trench and run forward happily to help. So basically they all three of them get covered up, and meanwhile she sees this and immediately turns and sees the five of you, and she kind of gives a smile, but then just starts beating on all three of them. And Tembo runs forward and basically,
Just joins
happily
it.
obliges, and he goes with his giant and pulls out his giant great sword and immediately just starts going at it. But before she takes note of him about to slash through, she calls down, she says, "No killing," and she just starts bonking these dudes on the head. And then
So where is the cart relative to all of this?
it's off to her left as she's like, you see her back. The cart's to the left.
So while
and-
this is going on, I go in and investigate the cart.
As
I
see
wanna
him
know
off
what
to
the goods are.
investigate
That's-
the cart, I'm gonna put myself between him and her and be like, "Yeah, keep it up." Just, like, barking at-
I'm going to reach down and pick up the drop torch and make sure it lights everybody's situation. as well.
Everybody's criminal activity here. Yeah, so sure. So give me a stealth check.
We're up to level 4 now. 11. That's a 3, bud.
So I think she basically she's like focused on basically defending herself against
Yeah.
3 swords, Tembo, and then now also trying to like hold Tembo back, and like she puts her arm on him and is like, no killing. We don't want to get arrested by the guards. And she's, like I said, she's just kind of defending him, and I would assume like Tembo just kind of helps block in every, in any way he can. But then, she basically starts beating them. She doesn't take an immediate note. What do? You got probably like
Seeing what there
a
is.
3-second window.
Just seeing what I'm assuming the goods they were after were in this cart, so I'm curious what.
Yeah, like I said, like immediately you just see like different types of items of like trinkets and stuff. Like there was food stuff, so you see like there's like some herbs and whatever types of small
Nothing
small
like stands
snacks.
out to me as like,
Nothing stands out as like valuable. There's a lot of plants and there's a lot of like I said, anything that you find, I can't. It's like fleeting my mind right now of like what you would buy in a D&D store. Like there's no compasses and there's no pythons, which are the 2 things that I was about to say.
Okay. Nice cart you got here.
But it doesn't look like there's anything of value at all.
Okay.
But it looks like just standard wares. Yeah. But as that happens, as you kind of take a quick peek, she manages to knock the guys out, and they fall over, but their like legs are still entangled, so they just like fall backwards, and knees still up. And she turns around and kind of looks at the lot of you, and she says, she looks at Tembo and she says, "Thank you, but this isn't my first dance."
I'm gonna hush her immediately.
She's She pulls it. She clutches her gnarled staff as if like almost like.
Like I was threatening her.
What are you doing?
The guards told us we must be quiet.
Yes, that's why we should leave very quickly if you do not want to be arrested for this noise violation.
I'm very interested to see her move the cart in a way that is not noisy.
Oh yeah, no. She immediately puts her staff away and she says, "I suggest you follow if you don't want to be part of this." She actually, and before she starts to push forward, and she says, "Is there a way that you can put that away?" She's referring to the entanglement. You could, I think you could just call it off.
When it ends, I can end it. When it ends, they just roll
so
away.
you pull the vines away, and she goes and like lines them up real quick.
Concentration, so you can just say.
Yeah, you just turn it off, and so you just line the body. She just lines them up side by side, and she like
As if they were drunk companions or something.
no, she like flat all together. She just leaves them like that, and she says they'll find them later. We have to hurry though.
We don't have
So
time
we
for any
follow.
poses whatsoever.
Time for what?
Poses. Any no poses?
No,
No, but but do I have time to see if they have anything valuable?
you can, yeah. Real
So
quick.
you're gonna go pose them.
Sure. I'm going to leave them as well as I can, searching through their pockets.
Yeah. So you start to go through them, and she immediately starts putting the cart, and the cart's actually like very silent.
Nice.
Very well oiled wheels.
What were the swords?
They're just, I would say they're actually just long swords, but they're nice in that they're not like normal monster swords, which are useless. Okay.
Yeah, so
Too
like
easy for them.
as she goes forward and kind of the party goes, I'm going to kind of like quickly just scan through them as I'm kind of walking with the party.
Well, I'll
just
drag
to kind of
behind just
see
so
what-
that
see
there's
what's
sort of a
there.
connection.
Keeping an eye out for any guards. Or
Okay, yeah. So you start peeking through them. Give me. I guess you don't really need to check for it. I will roll for some of this. You end up with 10 gold and 4 silver pieces that were in their pockets. And remember that because I gotta mark that off later. So you start searching the pockets and you see some other items in one of their pockets. One that kind of looks like a small flask, and it's got like this black tar inside of it. And you see next to it also a kind of like a portable like burner, like a Bunsen burner. I don't know what they're actually called. And you see a slot for where you would put this vial in it, and then like a candle underneath. And you see he also has a candle there.
Yeah. Check those things.
Yeah. And so
Just a little bit of meth.
just a little bit of meth.
That's the
That
business.
black tar.
Keeps everybody nice and sedate here.
And so yeah, you pull that out, and then that's pretty much all you really find in the pockets that looks to be of value, if anything. And keeping out for guards, you hear off in the distance some footsteps. They're not moving quickly, but there are footsteps. And at that point, your party's like
Yeah, I'm
moving on, so you
Hightailing
continue
it.
to run
Yeah.
out that way. Meanwhile, so the woman she starts to move kind of towards this one road, and she says, "Thank you for at least trying to help. I have to deal with these people all the time. It seems
what were they after?
they're after my money and for my goods, because I'm a merchant, you see." And so she says, "I usually sell at the Bonedust Gate in the evening, but usually to find folks like you who come here for looking for I don't know what. But you are new faces. I've not seen you before. Where do you come from and your purpose in this ghost town?"
We've heard great things about this town. What
Yeah.
happened?
There is nothing great left here. You could probably blame it on the black milk.
Like what?
Black milk.
Milk.
It is
What is the black milk?
Not too long ago. Yes, you have not been here at all. There's not much to say about it, other than helps the elves sleep. And she continues to push her cart forward.
It helps the elves sleep.
Yes.
Is she
It's like a drug.
The other people, like Ambien for elves. The
that's what I
first
have.
full elves.
Yeah.
Because the guards were half elf, right?
They're half elf.
These are the full elves though? These are full on, large pointy ears. At least to my best.
Yeah, no, they are. They're definitely. I mean, based on Aelith, who you knew, she looks very similar to that. She's got the long ears. She looks like she's full blown elf. Full blown elf.
Is it just the elves it helps?
It seems to be that way. Despite the half elves being kind of servants to many of the elves here, they seem to kind of run the town now, as they help their masters continue to sleep and continue to enjoy their euphoria.
Where can we find some black milk?
I mean, really anywhere. You just have to ask the temples. And she kind of points off in the distance, and you see now what seems to be the peak as you're kind of walking up, cresting this hill. Off in the distance, there's one building that is still maintaining its beauty. And it's got like this golden walls and it's very bright yellow all over, and you see like it's just this tall spire that goes up, and beneath it is the building extends off further. It kind of looks very similar to like an old style German church, but with a giant tower at the top. And as you guys kind of go off up the hill, you can see it off in the distance. She says, there's many theories about how the black milk has made its way through the town, but if you look at the only building that seems to be successful here, you could blame it on the servants of Sirik. They, since they became kind of involved in the politics in this town, they've managed to get rid of many of the politicians, and ever since then there's been this distribution of black milk, as they call it. There's no direct ties to it, but it leaves sort of a very good business to selling Black Lotus, as it's the most important ingredient to black milk. And being as the town as the city of Black Lotus, there's not much left to be seen around here, but having Black Lotus would make you lots of money.
Gert walks up and asks, how long, well first, what was your name?
Oh, my name is Trin Mord. I saw what this has done to my father, and I decided, despite what many people have tried to do, the temptation is too great for many elves, and they fall into it, and they take one dose of black milk, and it puts you to sleep for about 18 hours.
How long, when you sell wares at the Bonedust Gate, are you usually there?
About now, and for another few hours. But I usually start in the morning and I go to the western dock, which is the only other entrance into the city.
By any chance this eve, did you see anyone going by? It'd be a large caravan of people with maybe prisoners?
She says, I see many things going in and out of that gate sometimes. But to be a little bit more specific.
Was it?
People in cages.
Well, they took them out of the cages, I think we have to assume.
Oh, okay.
Because
Did we see anybody tonight?
tonight, did you
Yes,
see anybody
many people have walked through that gate.
tied so that they bound people?
That's a natural business here. For many people, there are many slaves. Elves and half-elves alike.
What about any humans?
I It's very rare to see humans here. Many of the people in the temple are humans.
Oh, priests?
Yes.
Did you see a group that had a human tonight?
Yes. There was one. But I do not know where they went. As I do my business, and my business is very dangerous.
So you say it's common. Do they have slave pens? Place where people are put? Storage?
Typically,
feeding?
yes. Yes.
By the temples?
There's a few by the temples, yes.
Worth a try.
Do you know Tabriel?
I'm not familiar with that name, yeah. Is she a she?
She is a she, yeah.
Is she a
He's an elf.
habitant?
He's
An
an
elf.
Mm-hmm.
Is she not succumb to the black milk?
I don't know.
I'm afraid I can't help you in that, my friend.
Is the gate is through the gate is through the temple?
The Bone Gate was the one we came through.
The Bone Gate is
Bonedust
like
Gate.
the main entrance,
The main entrance,
and
Bone
you
Gate
guys kind
south,
of
and we just went north.
And to see
Yeah.
up over on the hill in the temple, there's like another gate. Right?
Well, no, she said the west was another place that she came from, where the docks were.
yeah,
But also, the temples were to the further north in the city.
yeah.
Okay. The temples are in the city, though, right?
I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's within like basically these walls, and,
Right,
and you're
right.
kind of enclosed inside them. And yeah, I should say like the gate. I didn't really describe that much. I keep saying north, but I think it's canon now, so we'll just stick with north because
Where's-
technically you guys came in from the north and it would be south. But well, whatever.
That's fine. We could I would
Yeah,
redact
it is south because I'm thinking of like if you think
Right.
of where it's at on the map, you guys came in from the north, and the western docks are like where that little inlet was at that you guys had to travel across and ditched your donkey at. And so
You mean
the
said
we-
goodbye eloquently?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So the western docks actually go off into that inlet, and that's where if a boat was to come in, they would
makes
go to the
sense.
inlet and load into.
So we
there,
came from the north and we traveled south through this.
yeah, it's to the south. Now that I was thinking about it,
Where is a safe place to lodge in this city?
She says information like that doesn't come cheap. I've helped you escape. Wait. Listen,
Where are we now? Are we still just walking down the street?
Yeah, we helped her escape. Wait a second.
She says, listen, I don't know who you are, what your intentions are here for this town. It's safe places come to trusted people.
And how much does your trust cost?
It wouldn't be in money. I make plenty of money.
You're up.
Let's see.
What if one day we helped save your life?
She says, I believe that'll be the day that I do tell you all the information you need.
Excellent. So where can we lodge for tonight?
She says, you may try the flattened ox.
Sounds excellent.
Just flat.
Good.
And she says, it's not too often that guests go there. It may be empty, may not be, I'm not sure. I haven't been there in a little while. But if you go down the street, now understand the directions that you're coming for. It's very easy to get lost in this town. And she kind of like points and there's like 20 alleys. And she says, now, you go down for a quarter mile, you go right, and then you take a left immediately, and then you take a right after that.
I was like, I'm really gonna write this down.
She kind of gives you off in the directions, and she says, this is the main road. If you'd like a tour of the town, I can help you with that. But it's getting dark, and I highly suggest you do not come out at night. And she says, and most importantly, and she kind of points off to some buildings that have like the doors are boarded. She says, do not go into any abandoned buildings, as they are under the control of the temple. And she gives you the directions off the main road to where the flattened docks is at, and she says, you can find me at the western docks. And she points off in the west where the sun is setting. And she says, if you go down that way, you could find me at the docks. If you need a tour around the city, if you need to find other places around here, I'm more than willing to help. As a gesture or saving my life.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome. One head cannot hold all wisdom.
So this one needs to find a pillow. Let's head towards the flattened docks then.
I hear Tembo say, "What does that even mean?
What does that even mean?" So so you guys head back. You guys head to the place.
The flattened docks.
All right.
We're hoping to find a building and not a flattened box.
She's funny.
So you guys follow her directions, and they hold true.
Right.
There seems to be kind of an inn there, and
Did we notice, like, on the way, like, do we notice basically every building abandoned, or is it like?
I would say most are. Like, there are a lot of abandoned buildings at this point, but
Was there anything on the way that might have been just to keep in mind for futures?
So there are a few buildings, like, you're close to you pass like a residential area to get to this place, and about like every other building is basically boarded up, and you see like on the doors that it's not just like a board that like kind of locks it shut. There's also kind of like a missive on there that basically says the temple has control over this building, has seized it because of forfeiture of this land. Do not enter unless given explicit permission by the temple.
The temple is taking control.
Can you
And-
read these things?
And there is a sign,
I can.
a signature
You can read them? Okay.
under it. Yeah, I guess that's true. You guys don't know that. You just see missives, and
He's the one that...
yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I'll make those assumptions because I keep forgetting that.
That's why I asked.
But you do see a signature at the end of it, and like there's no printing press. They're all like handwritten and stuff like that. But this was hand signed by Cyric Diamoth.
So the Cyric is not a god, it's a person. The
Yes.
priest of Cyric.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good one.
The late Tembo, ha ha ha.
Oh, because it was. What does this even mean?
Yeah.
So you guys make it to the flattened docks, and the building obviously looks to be like every other one, where everything's been kind of stripped of it of any value. Like even the sign, like the metal had been stripped off, and you could see on the floor it's just like hanging, like kind of angled at the side on the floor. It says like the flattened docks, and like all the bronze and stuff and copper was ripped off of it. But you
Is there like sounds of at least merriment or fire inside or something?
Yeah, you see the lights are lit up as you open the door. It seems like there's a nice hot fire there, and you see like one table with probably about like 4 people there, and 4, let's say half elves, and at the end, at the actual bar is a woman sitting out there.
Human elf.
Hello.
Oh, I think
We would like 2 rooms for the night.
Yeah, she's a elf.
How tall are you?
She looks a little kind of gaunt
3
as
feet.
well.
I guess the question is, how tall aren't you?
I'm 3 feet tall.
That's right, you're 3 feet tall. They're probably like 6.5.
Yeah, I was like looking over the bar. You know.
They're 6'8" powerhouses.
Are there bar stools?
Yeah, there's bar stools.
I'm gonna lift him up and put him on.
You stand up
Stand
on
him on
top
the
of
punch Slap him on the back, as if. There you go.
Yeah, she she takes note of you guys and she says, "Welcome, new faces. It seems."
We're in search of the black milk. I mean,
No, we're not. No.
There is no black milk here. You can go to the dispensary.
where's the dispensary?
2 places down. You need money to get it, obviously.
How much is it?
But I'm not sure why you would want to get it. It does not affect your kind.
Oh.
We like to deal in the black milk.
She
No, we
takes
don't.
that very seriously.
We don't.
Wave off.
Joking.
Wave off.
She
I'm actually just gonna kind of push his face in. And I'll be like, "Oh no, we just."
I mean, give me some more ale.
she sees like the obvious attempt to kind of silence him a little bit, and she's just, her demeanor has changed now.
Okay, I'm gonna lean in. I'm gonna lean
Where
in
else can
on
we
the-
stay
on the bar.
tonight?
Shut up. Sorry, small, it's okay. We just want a couple rooms to stay. Everything will be fine. I'm gonna try to persuade her that everything's okay.
Yeah, give me
No need to report anything.
No need to report anything.
give me a persuasion check.
Sure thing.
Yeah, I think persuasion is a good check for it.
That's 25.
I was gonna carry the
Dang.
3. Oh my god.
So
Yeah.
she says she feels a lot more calm by your
I give her a wink too. I give her a little bit of a
Are you
wink.
trying to get digits? What's going on?
Hey, don't worry about it.
Back off, man. Don't crit my style.
she feels a lot better about that. She I think she trusts you. She still kind of looks squinty eyes at Kira, and basically
Wise choice.
Prejudice. That's what it is.
A wise choice.
she says yes. Please have a seat at the table. We can bring you some food. I'm guessing you need a room for the night. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. That'd be great. Two.
She says, and my name is Nina. You can call me Nina here.
Nina, thank you very much.
And she says, my partner, Emetu. She does the other hours during the day. So if you come in the morning not seeing me, that's my partner who's helping run the show.
Okay.
Nina, I have a question.
No, I drag him away to the table. The table she
He
went.
just picks you off that stool.
Nina, do you know Tabriel?
I do not know that name. She says like very bluntly, and then like just moves on. Yeah, so you guys get to the table. The whole time you guys were doing this, you sit down, you look over, and you see the table of the half-elves. And they seem to be kind of like looking at you guys.
God. Can we put Tembo?
Can we help you?
Can we put Tembo back and Kira back to them?
Can we help you?
It's like in a high seat. Just
One of them stands up and walks over, and he has the insignia of a guard. And
God damn it.
I say to him, from the deepest desires often comes the deadliest hate.
he says he hears that. He says, "Yes, I would agree with that, little one."
Yeah. He's talking about the black milk, of course, and how it's spread a plague upon the city.
He says, "I would agree with that too, but I think the world now, as it is, and our position here have been elevated because of this." Tell me, what is it that you find yourself doing here?
We are looking for my friend Tabriel.
We are not.
Did you say that out loud?
As if to imply that we are not.
What? Are you saying that meta? Are you saying that?
No, I'm saying that out loud.
Yeah, it's at the table. There's no meta.
Yeah, no meta. No meta.
I am looking for my friend Tabriel. I don't know what these guys are doing.
I do not know your Tabriel.
Meta.
Meta is you do this. You do this as meta.
Meta.
Tabriel.
This is a continuation from the other session. We're actually looking for that guy.
Teeg.
For Teeg.
I know we're looking for Teeg.
Okay.
Hey, like, we're gonna tell this guy we're looking for one of the human prisoners that is gonna.
I know that.
We just need a side quest.
I'm just messing with Kira. That's all I'm doing. Every time he tries to get just as much as Arn was.
Ruining my thunder here.
I'm Kira the Unseen. I was like, whatever.
Off in the distance. I see you.
Shut up, Arn. I hate you.
So yeah, he kind of just he's
very confused by us.
I just want to see if there's anything that you need assistance with during your time here. Tell me, who did you meet at the gate that let you in?
Well, we informed the guards I was after my friend that I've not seen in quite some time.
And they just let you in?
Yes, he did.
Interesting. What did he look like?
He looked like you.
Racist.
Yeah.
Not all half elves look alike, okay?
Now let me buy you a drink.
Give me a persuasion check on that.
I have no
Four.
recollection. We never got the name of it.
No thanks. And he explicitly moves in a way that he's not looking at him. And
They don't like little people here.
They do not.
Pepper's Farm remembers. To be honest, I don't think the name was ever said.
No, it wasn't.
No,
I
it wasn't.
wrote it down.
So don't feel bad. It's not in your notes. He says, you understand the rules of the town, right? It's been explicitly made clear to you. We do not wake our masters. When they wake up early from their slumber, they are not easy to deal with.
Who are your masters?
The elves.
The elves,
The elves are your masters?
they own us.
Not the priests.
The priests don't own
In a
us.
metaphorical sense.
The priests do not own us. They may be in charge of the politics, but I am a servant to my own master, and whom my master serves is up to him.
Here's something you can help me with, actually. Do you happen to know where they would take new slaves, particularly human slaves, into the city?
There are many places throughout the town.
There's not some sort of
There are
auction.
three main locations. Several of them two of them near the temple. Not because of the temple's choice, but just because that's where they're geographically located at, and that is an easy point of location.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna nod my head.
To Arn's question, are they auctioned?
No, they are given
To whom?
to whoever needs them. They are assets.
We need one.
So, who
Maybe
does
we
the
need three.
procuring of these slaves? Is it other servants to the masters to get more masters, or is there any money to be made in slavery?
I'm not the person to talk to about that. Usually, Marg is the town that produces these, and he kind of just looks at you guys. Who's shirtless? I don't know who's shirtless because who's
Tembo.
probably marked. Tembo's probably marked. No, Tembo is marked. You're all marked, but
No, I'm not sure. I have
I have
my
leather on.
But that would be when he says Marg, I think that would be a good reminder of
Oh yeah.
your past and where you were
Yep.
to be. But he says, just remember the silence in the halls the town. And he just moves off to his old table, and they kind of just play cards or whatever. Is there anything else you guys do in the night?
Eat.
Yeah. So
I am. Yeah, we'll eat, but I am kind of curious what goes on at night.
okay, I think we'll do that after our break. Okay, I think we'll cut it for a break for a little bit. We'll be back in like 5 minutes. Welcome back to Mort's Magical Wares. We're going to continue on with the story, wherever we're at. Do you hear us?
You.
Sweet. All right. So the night is upon us now. You guys have your food. You have your your ale in your belly. And you're good to go. What do you want to do after this? You guys, she shows your. I would say Nina shows your room.
Yeah.
You guys get a single room, or you're all individual.
I think we asked for 2.
2 rooms.
That's for 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
We did. Yeah. It's going to be 4 copper pieces, 2 for each room, basically for the night. But she'll pay. That's in the morning.
She trusts us.
All right, what do you guys do? You guys go to your rooms?
3 guys in the alley that we beat up.
I like it.
I asked. So we'll congregate, even though I have 2 rooms, kind of congregate in one room to discuss our game plan here.
Yeah, I grab Rhoda and head to their room. I'm imagining that the 3 of them, and then Rhoda and I are in the room for whatever reason.
For whatever reason.
I'm a druid.
Tembo's not there. He ain't paying anything.
We love nature.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about dark arts over there. And
I want to,
guy.
Tembo, the guys that you helped knock out are paying for our rooms. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Good.
So I'm very interested in going out at night, and I think that some of us might be able to go out and really gain a lot more insight into where the priests are and what goes on in here.
Yep.
If we were stealthy.
Agreed.
So who's stealthy?
What do you think you'll gain from roaming around the streets at night?
The element of surprise.
Wow.
The ability to explore where we normally wouldn't be allowed.
Yeah. Well, we need more information about really what's going on with the town. Although
Tembo says the night is full of dark and terrors. Or the night is dark and full of terrors.
Yeah, Tembo and I are on the same page. I don't like it.
Tembo can stay here.
Yeah.
Arn, do you want to come with us?
No.
No.
I think the only thing you'll find is more servants or addicts looking for black milk. But by all means, let the stealthy get.
I can try and locate our missing villager.
Yes, we're here for Teeg. That's all we care about. If we can somehow find Tabrielle and she's not addicted to the black milk, we could have some extra firepower. And maybe even tell us some secrets about the town. But our main goal is Teeg.
What do you do?
What do you guys want to do?
Arn, you take off? Or are you just peace
I'm
out for the night?
sticking with I'm sticking with Tembo. We're gonna play
All right.
cards.
So you and Tembo stay behind.
Think about Ed.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah. That's deep into the night.
When he thinks everyone else is asleep.
All right. So what do we do?
Yeah. Arn's interest is more with the people and what they're aware of, and not so much skulking about the night.
Arn, perhaps some of the people downstairs that are still drinking ale and eating a meal. Perhaps you could go and hang out and talk with some of them.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
Let us go.
Okay.
So-
you guys go out to like the front door.
Well, that's the question. So I am kind of. Do we have windows?
Yeah, there's windows too.
Yeah. Okay. So just really quick, what do we notice about the outside? Is there anything specific?
Are there
Do
guard
we
patrols?
notice that there's just like zombies roaming around?
you look outside. It's
Art's right.
pitch black. There are no lights. Of course, like there's no people walking around.
Is
Is
there moonlight?
Moonlight, yeah.
Let's find out.
It's like we have not thought this through.
The
Forget it.
moon.
We'll just
There
go in
is.
the morning.
You see very faint silvery shadows just kind of gleaming on the tips of the towers that are all around. But you barely. As you look up in the sky, as you stick your head out the window, you can see there's a little starlight coming out. But there's a lot of cloud cover that blocks off a lot of the sun.
How far is the temple from Latin Docks?
I would say probably about a mile.
Ooh.
It would be a long travel. Probably, I would say like an hour to get there.
That's tough.
There's a huge. So I didn't express the scale of the city that big because that was something you guys were talking about before. The scale of there's probably like 20,000 inhabitants of this town. In terms of the scale of the size of the town, or it's a city.
Even with all the abandoned buildings.
Yeah.
And these silvery shadows that I see on the rooftops.
Oh, I'm just saying that there's this you see silvery lights.
Okay.
And it just
there's
look like
a
little
minor
silver-
amount.
There's a bunch
Yeah,
of
that was the wrong
archers
word to
on
use.
the roof
Yeah.
or anything. Do I see any guards? Do we see any people at all? Like we just can't.
It's pitch black. You,
Like, we just
in
can't
terms of
see.
the ground, you can't see nothing because you have no dark vision either.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like if I were out there, would I literally not see my hand in front of my
You might be
face?
able to
But-
adjust to it, but you'll probably see just this. I'm looking at my hand, I can see maybe 5 feet. Because the moonlight's very, very dim.
Dawn maybe then?
Hmm?
Dawn maybe then?
Yeah.
Well, I can still go out as a cat, and I wouldn't have night vision per se, but cats.
They have dark vision. Yeah.
They have
Okay.
vision.
So, what priority you want me to have? You want me to just go to where the slaves are kept and try and find Teeg, or you want me to do something different?
Well, we want Teeg.
If there's a lot of hungry people here.
Okay,
Don't get caught.
we were.
You're gonna get eaten.
Yeah.
Tembo says, it's, yes! Yes, I love it! Let's see if it pops up. That's so awesome. Alright, so you got inspiration.
That was for Kira.
Oh, for Kira?
That
Oh,
was
okay.
Kira.
That's awesome. Well, Kira, now you have
Send
to
you
go.
out.
Now I have to go.
You've got two
right?
inspiration points.
I do.
You can go on the rooftops. Well, you don't have.
I'm pretty good at bouncing
Scrambling.
around rooftops.
Okay.
We can do it at night.
Yeah.
Let's go. We'll go, but do we have a purchase on the outside of the window that we could is there a way to cat
Yeah.
burgle our way out, or is
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
pretty,
yeah, you'll be able to make your way out.
no
Yeah.
pun intended?
Yeah, I think you will be.
Have we seen him turn into an animal before?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, yeah, like I said before, I think that you guys have all seen each other's abilities at one point or another growing up, and so it's not totally weird to see him turning into beasts and stuff that you yourself have been familiar with in the past.
Rodin, I know you're a cat, but you don't have to lick yourself.
No.
Oh my gosh, that's so
Don't do
awesome.
that in front of people.
just stupid. I know. It's Rodin. Doing this on purpose. One
Okay,
leg way
so-
in the air.
You guys just walk out the window. You're able to perch, get a perch, and you're
Wait.
not
See arms.
you're on the second floor where the inn's typically at, and Arn and Tembo stay behind, and
to play cards or whatever
play cards probably.
with the guards.
Eventually, I'll make my way downstairs. Probably sooner rather than later, so I can catch some of those guys downstairs. Shout them up.
Okay.
Where's the rest of your party?
Snoring. Tempo's gonna make a lot of snoring noises.
Yeah.
Okay.
Timbo ate them.
So you guys, how do you guys light a little torch? Lantern? Do any of you guys
I'm
have a
hoping to
lantern?
kind of climb up on the roof.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
And use them as what
And-
little light we have to.
Yeah, what little light I can use.
Okay,
Alright.
so we'll say that it's difficult to see. Give me everyone give me a perception check, and I'll see how well we can make it, how bright we can make it.
20
What is this? Just a
perception.
Perception.
Nine.
21.
Okay, what'd you get?
9.
All right. Well, I mean,
Well, you're a cat.
You have dark.
Wait, did you turn into a cat yet?
Yeah.
yeah, he's a cat. So you guys climb
And I
up.
can- and I can
I would
find-
say you got dark vision. Yeah, that's true. I guess for you guys,
They
we'll
can
say that you guys
kinda
got
follow
like
me. I
10 feet of vision to see, and the moonlight's able to do that.
Okay.
As you guys stand up onto the rooftop, you look out in the sky. You look at other rooftops that are nearby, and immediately you don't see anything. But you do hear a lot of flapping in the sky.
What?
And it's not like bats or
I'm
anything.
now
like that.
very worried for Rodin's safety.
At first it sounds like it's like
I can change
fast,
it to a
like
bigger
little
cat.
bats and stuff. But it's not like hundreds or thousands of bats. But like they're really tiny at first.
Alright, start heading south, I guess, across the rooftops as much as we can. Is the space between the alleyways such that we could jump from roof to roof, or do they actually always have a path?
Sure. Yeah. The way I kind of described it is like you're like in a residential district. Like there's flat roofs. Some of them are a little bit curved and stuff.
Where do
But
we
yeah,
know?
you're able to get through.
Where do we know of the first place where the slaves are kept?
The
Western
guard
dock?
stayed near the temple, on the side of the temple.
Near the side of the temples. Okay, so that's where we want to go.
Because he very specifically said no other reason than it was a convenient geographic location. Sounds suspicious.
They're just guarding them there. To the cages.
Better not deal my hand here. People are seeing all my monsters here. Hold on. All right. Well, look at that. So yeah, you guys start heading through the rooftops. You're able to make through they're close enough. They're about like 5 feet apart. You're able to jump through each side very easily. I'm not going to ask for any checks because it's pretty quick, and you're able just to. You're going straight through. You're able to see off in the distance very quickly, and you get to a point where like probably about a good 10 minutes of traveling through these rooftops, and you get to a point where like it's now just the road. You're like part of the main road that you were off, where
it cuts
you
off.
left off. Where it cuts off, and you've left off where Thrin was at.
So at any point, did we see any movement or people or hear anything as we were going?
No. You hear the flaps; they change in size and distinction and all that stuff. And right now, where you're standing, you don't hear anything.
Where is the main road, and then there's is there another set of rooftops?
Now it's like it goes
It's
up to
spaced
like
out.
more like commercial, like bigger buildings, but it seem to be like you'd have to scale up a little high, like probably about 10 stories.
10 story. Oh. We'll scale down this side of this. I'll go first. So that in case.
Okay.
You just catch me.
Both of you.
I mean, the cat's got 9 lives. He just jumps down, right?
8 lives left.
So you guys get down to the main street, and you just continue down the street, or are you gonna scale the buildings?
We can make better time if we go down the street, but let's stay
Yeah,
close to the.
How close can we stay in maybe the alleyways between the buildings and still see?
Yeah, in the alleyways it's pitch black. There's no light at all. In the main street you'll have your 10 feet vision.
Can we put a little leash around Rodin and let Rodin guide us through the alleyways? A rope?
You could do that. Yeah, I'll let that
makeshift
happen.
rope?
Why not?
Yep.
Walking the cat.
Walking the cat.
cat.
I'm just gonna stay with my hand on his shoulder.
Is Rodin big enough I could just jump on his back?
No, he's literally a small cat.
You're a small cat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like honey badger size, not.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you guys come up with like a little leash contraption, you tie it around. You start heading down the street or to like a side alley to
Kind of a
continue.
side alley to
Stay out of sight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So You go down an alley and you eventually continue towards the direction of the temple, right? That's the main goal.
Yep.
The closer you get to it, there is just a single pair of wings that are flapping, and these ones sound extremely large.
Like,
I'm looking up a little bit, to making sure I don't see anything.
Can Rodin talk, please?
No, he cannot. You look up, and you can see it. I wonder if I should just write it down.
you should.
Absolutely. I mean, I was basically going to query Rodin's knowledge of animals to know
It's gonna be like
if Rodin knows what this
like
is. Morse code.
It is a
Rodin, write it down.
huge effing It's a drogan. It's a drogan. I don't know.
Drogan.
Did you spell that right?
There better be a plot twist here where Arn comes and saves the day. That's
Yeah.
Hey, Arm's killing.
I sense my
Wait, are you really?
my friends are in trouble.
Yeah, that happened.
I must go. Where?
we didn't actually tell Arn like when to be concerned, right?
I have full trust in my brothers to be competent.
You've been there for like a week.
I'm just waiting there, still playing cards.
Yeah.
Give me a sanity check.
Ha! Our bad vision has saved our sanity.
Not good. Any which ability for
It was sanity.
I think you would have had an 11, so just it's you're gonna have a +0 to your modifier. Yeah, I think I told everybody had an 11 sanity.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a +0 to whatever.
Unless you
roll.
put something in it.
19?
Ooh, well done.
Having never seen this creature before,
Jumps up on us.
it has an effect on your brain in a way that you can't quite understand. And seeing something, a monstrosity that's inconceivable, considering the extremities and things. So it has an effect on you, but you're able to resist it because I would say like you spend a cat life doing it.
Okay. Can they see me?
Oh, yeah.
We could feel the
they could feel you. On the
feel your
road.
leash.
Okay. I will do what a cat will do. Arch the back and hiss, but not too loud, but that they will notice that something is like wrong. It's like
Literally.
you know.
Yeah.
How far away from the temples?
Probably pretty close to it.
I hope so.
Within walking, well, I would say like you can probably get there in a few minutes.
So it goes slack a little bit, and then you start hissing. Meaning that he's not pulling us anywhere. He's stopped.
Yeah, I stop, arch my back, hiss, and
I mean, we can hear the flapping, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I would not meta it, assume that that's the call.
Yeah, that's something.
So as it was
something
just like
bad.
sit here, I kind of whisper like sustain.
I'm just gonna sort of try to push myself into a wall at this
Right,
point.
right, yeah, just trying
sort
to
of-
get. I mean, we're in pitch blackness.
Yeah.
Anyways, but
it's a moving.
You're in what you presume to be pitch blackness.
Of
that's
course.
true.
So can you see?
Is it moving?
It looks to be
Or-
kind of doing like circles.
Around us specifically, or just in general?
No,
Around
Okay.
the-
It looks to be kind of like around a
Like a
collection of
scouting.
buildings.
Like it's scouting.
Oh, around a collection of buildings.
Yeah, like it's looking basically.
Yeah.
That's what you could presume.
Okay.
So
And-
exciting, and I don't even know why I'm excited.
Have we noticed this the same circular pattern? Like it's not going anywhere.
You wouldn't be able to really make that. Give me a perception check, maybe
Well,
or
we can't-
investigation.
we
I guess,
can't
'cause
see
you're
it,
you're
right?
looking for you're waiting.
Oh,
16.
19.
Yeah, it seems to be kind of like just looking around just the streets and alleyways and stuff for a little ways, but you were able to see it before it's like what looks to be its perimeter, but it has.
I try to see if how tall are the buildings in this area specifically.
We'll say about like 20 feet high. That's 2 stories.
Okay. I try to find if there is any building that will have place that we can climb up and stay hidden. Like that it has
like a
Like an overhanging area or something.
yeah. Give me a perception check as a cat, and at disadvantage because you're like lower than the buildings.
That'll be a 10.
Looking around, it doesn't seem like there's any like gazebos or anything like that where they would have from where you're able to look at.
From where we're at, based on what we've been doing for perception, do we see anything that looks like cages or anything where's people? We hear any? Like, I would imagine prisoners. I don't know if they're bound, but they might make noise if they're not. They don't really care about the rules if they're prisoners.
Let's see.
But they might be being told to stay quiet, or they're
Or something bad's gonna happen.
right.
You don't hear sounds, and again, because this is like the mandate, the law that there is no sounds in the halls of the city, and so you're not able to make
prisoners
out.
had to abide by it because it would just be
Yeah.
said anyway.
What do you guys do?
I'm interested to hear what happens with Arn and the guards.
Yeah,
While
so
I think about what we should do.
We come back to Arn and Tembo.
Yeah.
You guys are just chilling out. You got the
We're
nice.
just chill.
You got the bath going. You know.
Oh yeah.
I got the
It's,
path.
you know, we were on the road for a while. No good sleep back home. We're just relaxing, you know. We're just hanging out, dealing a couple cards, and eventually I'm gonna, you know, accuse him of cheating or something, and start head downstairs and see if there's any patrons left in there.
No, nobody left down in the bar area. It's just you down there, and Timbo in the tub. And yeah, you go down there, and actually you do see the new woman there. I met you, and
Is it PG-rated stream here?
yeah.
It sounds like
No one can do that.
He's bringing his game.
But yeah,
How do you feel about
Okay.
orphans?
So,
just continue to relax,
what-
enjoy your night.
yeah, I'm gonna go over to where the guards were sitting. At least one of them was a guard. I'm gonna sit down, pull up a chair, and ask if I can join them for a drink.
Oh, the guards are gone though.
Oh, the guards are gone?
You
Okay.
were all alone except for the new woman there.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'll go ahead and step up to her and give her a friendly wave.
So just to say, for context, he rolled using Slackbot or Rollbot on Slack, and he failed when he poker.
All right, hold on. I'll roll eventually. So. Well, so yeah, what did you say her name was again?
Emetru.
Metro. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna wave at her. I'm gonna come up to the bar and just kind of just say hello, introduce myself. We rented a room from the lady working the other hours. Just kind of introduce myself, be very friendly.
Yeah, she's an elf who, a very similar stature, looks very gaunt and very worked up, and she Josh loses again. So she doesn't seem to be very talkative, but she acknowledges you and she says, yes, it's very early in the morning. I'm not very awake right now.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I was just curious if you could give me some, like, we're new in town, of course. You haven't seen us before. It seems like you guys don't get many visitors. I was just wondering if you could give me, like, a general whereabouts about the city. Of course, we know about keeping silent, but is there any other rules we should be aware of?
Yes, it's safe that you're here. Always heed the warning. Do not go out at night.
No, I
It's
agree.
very
I
dangerous.
agree.
There seems to be patrols out at night.
Patrols? You mean the guards?
There are some guards. You can call them that, yes.
Okay.
And
Dragons. Or worse. Much worse.
and so, meanwhile, as you continue to have your conversation, what are these guys doing?
Hiding and hoping to God this thing goes away.
I have a feeling this was a bad idea.
I turn around and they feel my leash, so I pull them the way back.
The way back?
The way back, like insistently. We have to go. I don't say anything, but you know,
like a cat.
they should know that I'm saying we have to go.
Yeah. So,
Are you
like,
pulling
you
us
keep
back
tugging
in the
on the
direction we came from, or just
Yeah, the flattened ox.
Oh, jeez.
But we're almost there.
I know, we're so close.
It's right here.
I insist.
close. Are you sure we should go back?
How does a cat say sure?
Does that?
Pulls harder.
That's pretty good.
Does the monster seems to be going away, or it keeps more or less the
It's
same
just
area?
staying there. It's guarding something. You at like the point at this point, it's obvious it's guarding something there, like
Okay.
several buildings that are in that location.
I insist. I keep pulling them because we.
If he's pulling hard enough, I'm going.
Okay.
Where's your quote for this? What is it? It's
wanna-
most
you
calm
wanna
in
get
the eye of the
close?
storm.
Necessity.
Don't
is the
start
mother
nothing
of
that
taking
won't be
chances.
But so have we had a pretty good idea? I mean, because we couldn't see it as easily as the cat. Did Garrett, Kira see where the general gist of its path was?
You see like a
Like
shadow.
motion? Yeah, the shadow
thing.
movement.
I mean, you know that
From
there's
that, could
something
we
there.
sort of gauge what the buildings were?
Like, you know that you're close to the temple. It kind of there's lights up. That's how you're able to make that distinction that there's life in the temple right now at the moment. It's just like, so that's how you knew you were getting there. But as this shadow of something, it's too dark. Like, you've got 10 feet of sight, really. To really make a good distinction of like which buildings it's carrying about, you'd have to first see the thing. Timbo knocks the table over. We'll never know who won.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
So what do you guys do?
I'm muttering under my breath of, "Stay alive, Teeg." Just put my hand back on his shoulder so I could feel where we're going.
Head back.
Head back.
Okay. With
Because I want to hear what he says. This thing
I
looks
don't know
like.
what this thing is. Yeah.
you guys make it back uneventfully.
Okay.
There's not too much that you really just make it back. There's nothing,
Through the window.
no flapping. There's a little flapping every once in a while of different varying sizes off around the town, and but none as big as the one that you heard near the temple.
Okay.
So Arn, Teeg is dead. Let's get out of here.
I'm in a tub while Tembo's like fixing a table.
Actually, answer me this: did any of you guys sleep? Would you have gone to sleep at this point?
Yeah, I would have been asleep actually. Yeah.
No, you wouldn't have.
No.
You would have told me. You went
After
to
my
sleep.
conversation.
After your conversation, you go to your bed.
Question. How long did it took us?
Because it was an hour.
About 2 hours.
Okay.
So
So it's still night. It's still,
Yeah, it's still night.
so
It's still
we-
night,
we
for
got
sure,
time to
yeah.
sleep. So, well, before we go to sleep,
Rodent.
Well, hold on. I'm still resolving this.
Oh, I thought we were
issue.
back in the thing by now.
You're walking back in there, but I'm going to resolve him. Don't look at my monsters here. You go to lay down for the bed, and you close your eyes. You fall into your slumber, and and Tembo will say stays up for the ease of storytelling here. As you go to sleep, you instantly go into a dream state, and you have weird colors flashing around your eyes. It doesn't really make too much sense what's going on, and then eventually your sight clears to be the room that you were just in. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Sure thing. 17 or 12. My bad.
For 12. Okay, that's a big difference.
17.
Ugh, 27.
I can't believe I rolled so poorly.
You said 14?
12.
12. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you've had this experience before in another life. So you'll know what's coming. You wake up in your room, and you see Tembo's not in the room with you. You see in the corner of the room a large creature, fur covering all over, of black fur that seems to be greasy, matted, and dirty. And its head is upside down, and its maw is split open from the sides, and his hands and his legs are each all mouths, and it has these 4 sets of teeth that, as it opens up and its eyes on the bottom, look at you. And it runs towards you and it claws at you, doing 18 points of damage as he claws into your chest. And you immediately wake up from this pain. You wake up, and Tembo also takes note that there are now these claws in your chest, and you are now exhausted. You cannot
I wake
sleep.
up screaming.
You wake up terrified of this nightmare. And give me a sanity check.
Just
I need to do a sanity roll just to hurt it.
17.
All right. I think that having experienced this supernatural in the past in your life helps you resist this creature that you saw, but you know that it has like an imprint, and it's almost like will not go away from your mind, and you're probably not going to be able to sleep for the rest of the night.
Right.
But you look in the corner, there's no creature there though. Okay. And then as soon as you wake up, in comes a cat and 2 guys.
Yeah.
Art, what happened to you?
It's not safe here.
We know.
Did something come in here and maul you?
No, I went to sleep, and there was something. Yeah, it was a nightmare, but no. And then I kind of look at him for a second, and I'm like, no.
Temple just screams, "What the hell just happened?"
Yeah, there was something in my nightmare, and I don't think it was a nightmare.
Have you had one of these nightmares before?
No, but whatever it was, it felt similar to something I've seen.
Well, Rodin saw something very interesting.
I turn back human, and I tell them, yes, this certainly is something not natural going on in this city.
So it's more than the black milk?
I think there's a lot more going on in black milk.
Yeah, it has to be more in the black milk. Because
I think something... Sorry, go ahead. I'm just a little excited.
I told them that I almost went insane when we were by what I saw at the alley.
What did you see?
What was flying? I told them, you're lucky that you couldn't see anything. What I saw almost literally blew my mind away. I felt I was going crazy for a second, and I explained there was what was flying. It was this large creature, but it was nothing natural. I'm a druid, and that was not nothing natural creature.
Do we know what dragons are?
Was it like a reptile? Was it scaly?
You would know. There are legends. You've never seen one, I don't think.
But we've heard the name.
Was it
of,
scaly like a
we've heard of the
reptile?
creature
Or
called the dragon.
Did it have stretched, thin skin like a bat?
Yeah, when you ask about dragon, I say whatever stories I've heard of dragons and how do you say myth.
Give me a history check.
Huh?
Give me a history check. Yeah.
Okay.
Did it have a claw like this?
Or history, I have 15.
Yeah, it does not look like a dragon. From like stories that you've heard.
Yeah, I say it's nothing like a dragon. This was a very large creature.
Like a demon? Did it have thin...
Whatever we're dealing with, it is beyond what we're capable of even conceiving.
But it means we're close to something.
It means that Teeg is in mortal danger, and so are we for staying here.
Yep.
So we should get him and get out
Yes.
as soon as possible.
We should still get Teeg. I think we're close to getting Teeg.
Yeah. Why I say that the creature had no face, had several tails, and had tentacles coming from its body.
Did it have wings?
It had wings. It was a flying creature. Well, I didn't say
It
the
was
wings.
a
because I was
humanoid.
flying.
Yeah, I think that was the one term that I forgot to put. Is a humanoid creature with wings and tails and tentacles coming from all over.
Yeah. It was horrible.
Let's try to sleep.
No.
If we can get Teeg.
No. Do not. Whatever's happening here is like a much, much worse version that was going on back home. If you go to sleep, bad shit might happen.
As he points to his still bleeding
Giant
chest.
Scar.
Well, look at it.
We have to rest somehow. We can't just function with no sleep.
No, just try your best to not go to
We
sleep.
might not.
You'll be better
might not
off.
be able to function even if we go to sleep.
One,
We'll just be woken up.
Were his wounds like real?
yeah, he's bleeding.
I'm
Oh,
still
well,
bleeding.
Oh,
Yeah, he's literally
no,
bleeding.
I go.
Yeah, that's why I said he wakes up and his chest is bleeding.
No, I go over to him and then just start. I didn't realize. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to belittle this. I really was interested in what Roden had to say.
okay.
But, so I start pulsing him up.
Yeah.
That's just.
You see how like there's blood all over the bed.
It's like, what'd you do?
Wait, whose
Are
room
you
is this?
sure we don't want to go to sleep? Look at me.
I wonder if the woman downstairs knows something about this.
Timbo says, how does everyone else sleep?
That's what I was saying. That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah,
There must be.
I
at least-
think if this happened to other people, it's something they would have mentioned.
Yeah, I was gonna say about the black milk.
Well stated, Timbo and Roden. I have some black milk.
Yeah,
Well,
but
it won't affect you, right?
they said
It only
that
affects the
doesn't-
elves.
This is.
Yeah,
What do you
Yeah.
it doesn't
go
affect
for it.
us.
7, 14.
All right, yeah. He's able to cover up your
Awesome.
wound well enough that you're no longer bleeding out. But the wound is far deeper than just the skin. It seems.
I'm gonna go downstairs.
Did you hear
You
the
go downstairs?
14?
Yeah.
You heard the 14, right?
Yeah, you got 14 hit points.
Yeah, I
You're
did,
gonna need
I
to
did.
mark that because you ain't healing.
Yeah, I gotcha. Took 4 in total
Downstairs.
because it's 18 damage.
Okay.
Is she down there? I
Yeah.
forgot her name.
Emitu is there. Emitu.
I meant to.
Emitu.
Ametu? Hello, Ametu. I am Kira.
Pleasure to meet you. It's a little late.
Yeah.
You seem like you've had some problems. You're all sweaty and worked up, and covered in soot. You weren't outside, were you?
I was outside earlier today. It's hard to get this off.
We have quality baths.
Yeah, I will take one later. You know, my other party members are still washing up. So.
Tembo, to answer your question, elves do not sleep. They're like standard D&D elves. They don't sleep. They're supposed to
Meditate.
meditate for like 4 hours. But they are sleeping now, according to the people that you've talked to.
Okay.
That's why I was wondering is, having some weird nightmares. I was
What do you
just
mean?
dozing off, waiting to take my bath. Didn't notice anybody else complain
the
about
dreams?
nightmares? Yeah.
The elves dream. They sleep. They dream of glorious things.
Would I know that the elves don't sleep? In
Yeah.
general? I would know this.
Mhm.
Like, why do elves don't sleep? What are you talking about?
You understand that we take black milk to put us to sleep and to put us in a state of euphoria.
Why?
It's good for us. It's good to rest.
When the elves sleep, do they have these nightmares?
We have dreams, yes.
Are
I
they-
don't know if you'd call them nightmares.
Describe one of your dreams.
She ponders for a moment, and she says, I dream of a world on fire. A place that this is no longer. I dream of my home and my family. But they are not alive. It's not, it's not a world that we perceive. There are people who come about in our dreams. They tell us things,
Are they elves?
give us prophecy. I wouldn't call them elves or even humans. Higher powers.
Do the priests believe in these higher powers?
They do. The priests, they speak truths to us. And they help us see through our dreams.
You're very informative.
And she just kind of like breaks out of her stupor and she says, but everyone experiences those, yes.
Well, I'm gonna go try to take my bath now. I think I like.
If you need to
5 minutes are
help
done.
sleep, perhaps warm tea or something?
What is the black milk I hear about?
I told you, it's a medicine to help
What
us
is
sleep.
Is it a tea? Is it a?
It's a tar, you inhale it.
Ah.
It's like,
Somebody's told me that it only affects elves.
this is true. Yes, this is true.
So,
This is why you see our armies, they are all half elves.
does it affect
Those-
the half elves?
Untouchable.
How much does black milk cost?
1 gold a dose.
Thank you. I don't need any tea.
It's free.
No, thank you.
And so, gotta go back up.
Yeah, I'm going back up. That bitch is crazy.
Do you relay most of what she said, though?
What's that?
Do you relay most of what she said?
Yeah, I'll relay the whole story. Yeah. So I got some more information about the dreams. So they have dreams too, but definitely are getting impaled.
Did you share the fact that you had the stuff with you? On you?
Not yet.
Yeah, I guess we should sleep.
Try.
No.
I'm going next door where his screaming will be less of a problem.
No, I'm saying I guess we shouldn't sleep.
Oh, shouldn't. Oh.
Shouldn't sleep.
Gonna pinch each other until the morning? Like, they wake.
The caffeine.
I'll break out some cards.
There's
there
coffee.
you go.
There is coffee, yeah. You should have had the tea. It probably has caffeine in it.
Yeah, that's true.
She offered me some tea, but gentlemen, I wouldn't drink anything in this place. I guess we drank some ale, but
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
So
that's
what are
the
you guys gonna
recommendation. We'll just stay awake.
We're gonna try to stay awake.
All right.
Yeah, I'm
everyone,
gonna-
give me. You're exhausted, Arn.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm gonna do my
I think
best
you
to keep
get-
everyone else awake.
Yeah, you get disadvantage, I think, on like all your ability checks, if I recall that correctly. And without any sleep, that puts everyone else at exhaustion number 1. But actually, I was gonna say give me a check, but I mean, I think you're able to stay awake.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we don't have to roll for that. Yeah, why not? Let's roll for it. Give me Let's thinking about it. You know what? What would that be? What would be a good check for this?
I think
Constitution.
Constitution.
Constitution saving throw. Yeah.
11.
13. 7.
Okay. You guys.
If I see anyone doze off, I'm gonna start shaving them.
Give me. Did you roll on saving throw?
No, I didn't. I thought I. Okay. All right.
No, I'm gonna make you do it again. Okay.
Okay. 13. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So like you guys are all like at the point where it's starting to break dawn. You notice that he's actually been like his eyes are still half open, but you kind of doze off for a little bit. Give me a on saving throw.
11.
You for a moment you wake up in the room, and this time you see a similar creature that I described from Arn. And Arn didn't really describe it. This is your first time seeing it.
Yeah.
But again, in the same corner, this creature who's basically standing there with his arms out, teeth aside, teeth like mouths open. He opens his jaw in a very similar fashion, moves, but his movement isn't like fluid. It's very jagged. You're in a dream. Things are moving in frames and not as opposed to it's a very real dream world. Give me a perception check.
22.
For a moment, you know your mind, your soul, your body that is separate. You are in a different place, and you know this. You are in a physically you are located in your body. Your body is somewhere, but you are in a copy of this world. You know that you are not in this place. And the creature comes up to you and in a similar fashion comes at you with its mouth as it clamps down on your chest and rips out a chocolate. It's not looking good. I rolled max on everything. As
Teeg and Kira are dead. Run!
Yeah, right?
26 damage.
Can I use inspiration and subtract a d8?
So, yeah, you wake up, and other people who are in the same room as you take note of this new cut that appears on your chest, and you're reconnected with your body. You're no longer in this other place, and reunited.
I yell. Jumbo! I
And it's-
scream.
and it's
I
about-
scream in
it's basically-
horror.
it's
I am
daylight.
basically bleeding to death.
We all wake up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys are still awake. You're not really asleep.
Oh,
You're just
we all, like,
you're
like,
kind
alert.
of like I would imagine you guys are like in a circle, kind of pinching each other, keeping each other awake. And there's a point where like you do that for several hours, and it's just like the iterations of it pinching is just getting like a little dry. Like, yeah. So you guys all have level 1 exhaustion for staying awake.
Help!
I'm just like slap her again. Point.
So I don't know. healer's kit. I can use cure wounds.
Tempo screams, "How do we fight something like this?"
Punch it. Punch the dreams.
I know, I just had my AC went up too. What the hell?
I rolled like 22, 24.
Oh wow.
Oh, to hit?
Yeah.
At least it'll staunch the wounds if you do that.
So,
Busy druid over here.
wait, what are you trying to do? Healing,
wounds.
cure wounds. I think it's a D4, right?
Is that DA?
Oh, D8, yeah. It's a D8
I mean,
plus
I'm
your spell
alive.
modifier. Yeah, yours.
But
alive.
if you're bleeding, this will
Right.
stop that.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, if I'm bleeding, that's the problem. I'm assuming I'm bleeding.
Yeah.
I can use the second slot. Spend one, and then
Do
I get 2d8 plus
30. What's your wisdom?
2d8 plus 3? Jeez. What did you have? 4d6?
Yeah, but eye pulses as they're gone now. I can't make new ones until I go back out.
Yeah.
Mine's totally non-magical.
Do I? If I spend a second level, I don't double. I do not double the what I add from.
Right, yeah, just
Wisdom,
roll
yes.
the 1d8 and your spell mod. Oh, wow. That's really good.
2 8s.
Holy cow, is that 19?
Max healing.
That's
19.
That's
Nice.
16,
That's the max
right?
I can do
Nice.
at a level
Way to
2.
go, Rodin.
Dang, dude.
Throw dreams at us. Mort's magical. Take that, DM.
Like, I went back to max.
All right.
Okay,
So you took off from the one.
it's morning.
Yeah, I took off one.
What do you guys want to do?
We need to go
What is
try
the
to find
plan
Teeg
as
fast
Teeg.
and get out.
Get the hell out of here. And figure out a new quest.
A quest to the other side of the world. Far away from Imystrahl, never coming back. I'll miss you, Elias. I'll miss you if you were here.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll go down to the. We'll leave the inn. We'll
Pay
our-
them. Pay
our
copper.
Fair.
Okay.
We should
You-
probably
you
go to
pay your
the,
fare?
4 copper.
we should probably
four
go to
copper.
the, okay, there you go. The West Gate for the tour, so she can show us the exact spot and we don't get lost of like where the slaves usually
Well, I
go.
think we were saying that Rodin would remember the
Where-
way.
Yeah, Rodin,
Okay,
Rodin is
fair
the
enough.
way. You don't have to go.
We
you
would
don't
have
have to go
explained
back.
to you what we went through, slinking towards the temple.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we can just call up there at that point and make that in the next session the
Go after
adventure to
Teeg.
save Teeg.
Safety. We hope.
But-
The problem is
Potentially.
we already had him, and whatever this thing is, took him away again. It must have been one of those lion creature
Oh yeah, you're
that
right.
Well, we're gonna find out.
So
I mean, maybe Teeg
When
is,
we get
is,
him,
is
we're
the
gonna have to
sacrifice we need to
prepare.
provide these people so they'll leave us alone for a while, and then next time we'll draw straws, and hopefully it's not.
I have a feeling Crenshaw is going to want us to figure out what's going on in this city. This is a close city to our village.
Apparently close enough for whatever that was.
Yeah. So let's just learn more about it. Let's go after Teeg.
So we can south.
Yeah, as you guys start making your way through the city, you pay your dues. You start making your way through the main roads. You don't see anything out in the skies. Looking around, you see guards every once in a while, because it's about a mile away, like I said, or about an hour's away. You see every once in a while they kind of patrol just the alleys. They're still no real life of elves kind of coming in and out of their bedrooms. Occasionally, you see smoke coming out of different houses, just as if someone's awake and going on with their lives. But no one ever really walks the streets. As you approach the temple, you see that there are 2 large buildings in the front of it. Large, like, warehouses. And the temple itself, it's very obvious that you know that you're in the temple grounds. There's like a clear distinction of the pillaged city and then the temple. And that there are people out there moving about, talking amongst each other in small groups.
Elves?
Many of them, they're too far away to really tell at this point. But you see that they kind of cluster in small little groups, they talk, and then there is also like a little ceremony going off to the side, each of them wearing black robes embroidered with yellow symbols. And you make that out as a similar fashion of the guy that you saw when you first came across the pyramid. The one that you saw in the forest.
Is the same symbol on the black milk flask that I have?
Would say so, yeah. And but they're all basically wearing these yellow embroidered robes. They all seem to be kind of distracted at this moment, talking to themselves, congregating, waiting for what seems to be kind of like the morning service, and or the morning speech, whatever it is that happens in this town.
Nobody that is there is not wearing a robe.
Right. And you don't, you don't. I would say that you kind of recognize this is the area of where you would see the creature flying above, around the large warehouse or warehouses, and that it was guarding. It was guarding the areas.
Do you hear any noises coming out of the warehouse?
No. So I think we'll leave it there.
Bye, Teeg.
So
It's about not one more night here.
thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Whoever was in the chat room with us, thanks for watching the show. We do every other week, and we'll be back probably in 2 weeks, maybe 2-3 weeks, whatever happens with schedules and stuff like that. Hopefully next time we'll have Tembo here in person to be able to bless us with his beautiful Tembo voice, as opposed to a Twitch chat voice. But other than that, thanks for showing up, guys. We will see you next time.